about to start.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of No Conduct Radio. Today is February 28th, which is actually the last day of Black History Month. However, this is not the last day that you should recognize Black history. It's just the last day of the month that they designated to Black history. So tonight we're talking about why is there even a Black History Month. We're taking your questions, answering them, and actually we had a bunch of callers who were trying to get questions in last week. Only one of them went ahead and sent me their question for me to air it on tonight's show. But I apologize. Last week, like I said, last week was kind of a janky week. I was not in the studio. I was actually out in the streets running to different clients, doing some IT work for my clients. They had some last-minute stuff for me, and I had to go ahead and take care of that, so I didn't even make it to the studio. And without warning, Logic was just thrust into the producer seat. So we weren't really taking live calls last week, so I do apologize for that. But if you do want to get your questions in, be as brave as this other listener and just go ahead and send it to us. Send it to us whenever, and we'll go ahead and read the question on air, and we will answer it. So either way, you'll get your questions answered. I apologize we couldn't get you on the show last week, but we're always here. Well, we're always here every Thursday. So we are joined by Logic, Char, BJ, and, of course, the illustrious Kai. BJ, you're with us this week.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We had the whole crew this week.
Hey, BJ. Did you get people buying? Are you now a millionaire? Cough it up, Tony.
Buying. I got a couple of new clients,
Orders? Putting orders in? We're thinking orders.
No, orders.
Clients, that's even better. Right. Oh, okay,
Nah.
Okay, but clients are good.
Clients, they're better than orders.
Yeah. Right. That's good. Good to have you back. Logic did a great job, though, while you were gone, DJ. He did. Excellent job last week.
He really did. He was dressed into the seat 30 minutes before the show, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we talked about Black history, I want to say heroes. What's the word we use?
Oh, really?
Black history, well, you know.
So this is Black History
Month. So it's the
unsung,
ones that are not
Thank
famous.
You. That are not,
right,
yeah,
and Logic brought some, like, freaking Bruce Lee type guy. Like, I want a movie done on this guy. Like, he got, shot like 20 times and still went back and saved people. And it was some, and then I think he ran out of bullets or something like that, and he was hacking people with his knife and still survived. Dude, I want a movie on him.
As the story goes. Yep.
Well, that won't be showed in Hollywood. That won't be showed in Hollywood.
But, dude, that is such a good story to tell, and it's a true story. You're telling fake stories about people like this, but there's actually a real guy out there that did this. And a lot of us aren't even aware of it. It's a sad thing.
He's the wrong color. The wrong color to promote. You know that. Come on.
Well, I guess. Well, what was his name?
No, we don't.
Do you remember what his name was?
Who did all of this and didn't get his Medal of Honor because of racism. We need to hear about Django and his crushed blue velvet suit.
Yeah, I didn't understand what Django was about.
I haven't even watched that movie.
I watched half of it. I'm like, what the hell is this? What is this? So I'm like,
I have no interest in watching that movie at all.
I think I watched.
Yeah, like instead of doing Django Unchained, why couldn't we do this guy, which is based on a true? I just can't get over that. Based on a true story, like this really happened.
Well,
a guy went out there with back in the day, so that was a musket or whatever. It's not like he had the guns we have now. He went out there shooting up people.
Mm-hmm.
ran out of bullets, got shot 20 times, said, F this, took out his knife, started hacking people who probably had bullets, still survived, still saved people. Like, that's Rambo.
Like a black, that's like a black Rambo. That's what I'm about to say. Black Rambo. Yeah. Hey, Rambo's another Rambo.
I want a movie about him so bad. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
I mean, they got plenty of stories like that.
And I honestly, I'm sitting here talking about him like I knew about him, but last week was the first time I ever heard this story.
There's plenty of other ones too. The Stono Rebellion is when they had enslaved this black general, this African general from West Africa, and on the slave ships he realized that his lieutenant and his soldiers were on the same ship, and when they made landfall, they took over, killed a bunch of the white slave owners and auctioneers, and started a march towards the south, and was killing all of the little town armies, militias. There you go. All of the militias that were coming up against them, they were killing them, and they couldn't stop them until like all of these different militias had to start kind of colluding together in order to have one big pass at them, and that's the only way they was able to stop them. But one general, with only a few of his soldiers, was able to free like over 100 slaves.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. I want to say this though. The funny thing is, every year we try to do something related to Black people during Black History Month. I think this is the first season that we've actually designated the entire month to Black History Month. Do you know our numbers went down this month?
I bet they did. I bet. They did. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because it's not. You know why?
I wanted.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, because it's not.
It's not some what's happening and what's going on. What's in the news now, whatever. It's not entertaining to them. That's what it is. So that's why you don't see a lot of Black movies on the big screen.
And it's not negativity. And it's not negativity either, BJ, because people want drama, don't they? Right? They want issues.
If we was up here talking about the many different politicians that said something racist and we were going on and we were upset about it, it'll be a bunch of people tuning in like, yeah, that's right, he's racist.
Absolutely. Or how,
but
how racist
we're talking
about,
like you said, we're talking about, first of all, history, which people for some reason don't want to know where they're coming from, so they don't make the same mistakes again. They don't care about that kind of stuff. If we were talking about a fight between, Kanye West or this what's his name, the Smollett guy that faked his
Empire guy.
If we were talking about that, and we had some gay person on to talk about how irritated and angry they were that he lied about something like that.
Yeah, that's
our numbers would be through the roof. But we take 1 month, the shortest month, mind you, out of the whole year, just to talk about a few things that happened in Black history, and
like, God forbid, that's not going to happen. Yeah. But we still had several people trying to get through, to give their opinions, to sound off and give their feedback. So there's still people out there that are concerned or interested in, in our history, but unfortunately the majority are not speaking out because they would rather see, drama. Or hear drama.
Well,
that's what they want to know about.
Not to sound like a crotchety old man, but I just told my cousin this the other day. It is specifically for the lackadaisical approach that most Black people have to their own survival and their own perseverance that I'm not concerned anymore, or I can't invest in Black problems, quote unquote. When I hear about people saying the amount of black people, I really don't care. I don't care anymore because it doesn't matter. They keep doing the same thing. You got plenty of black people out there that are going to vote for Kamala Harris because they think she's black, and then you got another bunch of them that the whole point to them that is most distressing is that she got a white daddy. Who cares if her father's white? Like, her father's not white, but if he was, who cares about that? It's about what she does and what she says and what her political affiliations and history is. She does not care about people. She's about furthering her career. That's what you should be focused on. I could give a shit less who banged who to make Kamala Harris. She's running for president. That's the problem. But you can't get through to them. You got black people that try to act like Trump invented racism. This racism has always been here. It's always been here. The only thing Trump has done was to make the more
bring it to light.
Overt, crazy ones come to the surface. But all of this racism has constantly been here. Black people still think the Clintons was in their corner as black people. Like these are the same people that did the 3-strike rule and all of this other stuff that has been catastrophic for black people.
The predator.
I like Bill Clinton. He was like one of us. One of who? What are you talking about?
Yeah, they have him as an honorary black person or something. A lot of black people like to say that.
See that nonsense.
What kind of title is that?
Honorary black.
Oh, my gosh.
Ugh.
I hear that a lot, Char. I hear that a lot. He's an honorary black person. He's one of us. This and this and this and this. I hear that a lot.
Oh, yeah. I've never heard that. It just sounds really crazy, though.
I can't invest in that kind of thought process and that kind of people. I can't. Farrakhan still gathers a crowd when he speaks. This is the same guy that admitted that they had something to do with killing Malcolm. He gathers a crowd like black people saying, I should listen to him.
Yeah.
But then if you ask anybody, what did he actually tell black people that they needed to hear when he did the Million Man March? What did he say?
Nothing.
Actually.
Nothing.
What did he do? Did he lay out some kind of 5, 10, 20-year plan? What was the point of the Million Man March besides him getting pressed?
I think it was the ego thing. So many people can bring together.
Of course it was.
It's an ego.
Of course it was.
It was an ego, man.
That's all it was. I remember this because I was like 15 or 16 when it happened. I remember watching it, and he took 20 minutes to thank all of the news outlets that actually did a live coverage of it. Thank you, C-SPAN. Thank you, like all of these. I'm sitting there thinking,
it was all about him, man. It's all about him. That's crazy. And people didn't know that. People don't know that. They didn't know that. They're like, oh yeah, it's Farrakhan. I was like, yo, man, ego trip. Trust me.
It's crazy.
I have tried to listen to him before. I've really tried, but usually it's like, what the hell is he talking about?
Man, I don't even know why you tried. What did you think you were missing out on?
I feel like the message is angry a lot. I mean, I just get this overtone.
It's racism.
It's racism. Yeah, it's exactly.
He's very racist.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
That's his message.
Insanely racist.
You see, and look, and what he
I mean, it wasn't part of his teaching.
I was going to say, isn't part of his teaching just like,
basically, yeah.
All of your problems are because of the white devil.
Yeah, the white man. Yeah,
and all of the wounds in the world.
Yes, that's true. I do hear that.
Is the orchestration of the white devil, and if the black man, the original man, was running things, it would be such a. It's nonsense. It's the same thing that the plan says about.
Right. You listen to him.
We got to get rid of these niggers because. Yeah, blah blah blah, and taking our jobs and all that nonsense. It's not about whether or not you've done your due diligence as a person to upgrade your options for work, to take care of your family, to properly plan out your life, to have a real and honest, critical eye about your decision-making processes and how you got to where you are right now in life. None of that. It's about these people that are this color is your problem.
And here's one, guys. I've been hearing. I'm sorry, Kai. I've been hearing a lot that it's only black people who are even. And I know we don't do religion on here, but I'm gonna make this quick. Only black people are going to heaven. Everybody else goes to hell. They're the chosen ones. Yes, that's the message.
Well, no, but listen.
I've been hearing that message.
That's not the only thing. They don't. No. They don't believe in heaven and hell. They're a cult. They believe that there's a mothership of black people hiding behind the moon of Saturn.
Oh, right. And they'll be picked up and taken back to the star. That's right.
Yeah. And the mothership is going to come and release other baby ships and pick up the black people, and all of the white people, I guess, are going to be sitting around watching this happen.
And it's like, hey, let us go, please. No, you're not black. You're not black. Can't go. You're not as good as we are.
So they're literally a cult.
It's a cult,
And the white, I guess the white version of believing only white people are going to make it is, I guess it would be the Jews, because they don't believe black people are really Jewish, right?
Right.
Isn't that their thing?
Cannot possibly be. Right.
Right.
Is that what our guest, 3 weeks ago said?
Yeah.
Right.
I think she said they had to check, or they had to do something to be sure they were really Jewish, something like that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a process, I don't know. I've never heard of a Jew saying that. Okay, well, but definitely the Mormons, they believe that black people or any people of color are demons.
Yeah.
And
it's the opposite of Mhm.
That's what they believe.
This is just so crazy how so many minds
they believe the Mormons are demons?
No, they believe that black people and anyone who's not like them, are demons. Just it's the opposite of the other message.
It's like a cult thinking,
So it's still a cult.
Yeah.
Anytime you exclude people based on race anyway, you already know something's not right. Come on. I mean, that's just common sense. Like, come on.
And being one specific community, and just one,
you're not like us, so you're, Yeah, you know who I was referring? Oh, Logic. I just wanted to correct myself. Who I was referring to was the Black Israelite movement, which they believe that only black people from certain parts of Africa originally are the ones that are the only ones that are going to make it to heaven. Seriously.
Israel, that's oh my God, another cult.
Well, Charles is really into that now because of YouTube, and I could just pull out every hair that I have. Yes.
Really?
He's
a Black Israelite now?
He's an Israelite now?
Listen. He's in his head. He's following the movement because via YouTube. He hasn't physically gone to their I don't know what they call it. I don't know if it's called temple. He hasn't done that, but everything is there.
But he's following them for it.
Trust me.
Basically, he's getting drawn in slowly. Okay, so that's
Yes. It's bad. It's really bad. It's really
how?
Bad. I mean, the things that they're thinking.
What?
Late 40s. Yeah.
How is he still in that?
But you have to
I'm going to change the...
Hey.
Okay, this is my question. Hold on. How is he still in that? I'm going to change my mindset format based on YouTube videos.
Because that mind, if your mind's not strong enough to depict from BS, and you get sucked up into that kind of stuff. You don't research and stuff like that. You go, that sounds like it's right. That's about right.
Age doesn't matter.
Yeah,
there's a documentary. There's a documentary on Prime. It's called How They Brainwashed My Father, and it's this woman that she said growing up her dad was always like a laid back, measured guy, but with the advent of the 24-hour news station and specifically Fox News, she said she watched her father over the course of 3 years become a radicalized racist.
Mm-hmm.
And she said it was so jarring for her because he never was like that. She said he had black friends at work before and never, when it came to the civil rights movement, he was very sympathetic. But Fox News and the way that they were, presenting things to him, he just became one of these those kind of people. So it's very possible that late in your life, that depending on what you watch and how you are absorbing it, you can become susceptible to a message.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, especially when that's true. And you guys have to understand, a lot of people, YouTube actually is considered research to an extent because other people have taken their time and taken it seriously to a whole other level to where they can show you, like they can back up everything they're saying, but it doesn't make any sense, but they can present it in such a way.
It's not research.
No, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not agreeing with any of that. I'm just saying that they can present their findings and their mission statement and what they believe in such a way that makes you feel stupid for not realizing, for not wanting to be a part of their movement
but you're supposed
years
to check
ago.
them. You're supposed to check them. You're supposed to check that or give references.
What is it a check? It's not like they're like you might see them at the corners yelling. How they get angry and they're yelling at the corners but where else are you going to check? You see what I'm saying? You can just turn YouTube on. There's somebody else supporting the last series.
Hello.
That's worse because it's the same. It's going to go right back to the videos and that are supporting everything. Yes. And there's so many popping up. It's like it's just crazy to me. It's just like a scary. It's watching someone's mind just slowly become very warped and the way they think about everything in life because it all goes back to the racism thing. Even the color of a woman's skin. A woman.
You gotta
being
research
judged.
that. You gotta fact check them and all that. You got to.
There's nothing to fact check. It's a movement. You either are continuing to follow the teachings or you just whatever. But unfortunately, the more videos that you follow, it's another one that pops up and don't confirm the last one. Confirm the last one.
A video you can't fact check.
The teachings.
Somebody put a video up about.
Like what? No, go ahead.
So you can't fact check them. Any of their YouTube videos, you can't.
But what is there to fact check? That's what I'm trying to tell you. They go to the Bible, they go to here, there, and what they do is they take one little passage and then just twist it. But it's not that it's not there.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
You just said it. They take one little thing and twist it. So you already know they twisted it. So you basically know.
No, they convince you that you have been. No, they convince you you've been lost your entire life, DJ. Trust me when I say by the time these people get finished with you, and these are highly intelligent people that are joining this movement.
So you're saying
these are highly intelligent people that are joining this movement. This is just not some little pitleys out there.
I can't fact check nobody because I'm not that highly intelligent.
No, you're not hearing what I'm saying. But no, listen to what I'm saying because you are also very highly intelligent based on what I know of you. Even you can be, you can listen without even realizing it, BJ. They would have suck you in and you wouldn't even realize it.
If I'm not sure, I'm going to research it and fact check it. I'm going to. I'm not going to say, I'm not sure. I think that's right.
What is there to not be sure about, though? There's nothing to be. You see, the way they do it is so clever. It's almost like, I'm telling you, it's oh, God, it's too much. They put a lot of time and sweat into trying to convince people.
What YouTube is a digital soapbox. Anybody that has something to say, they can go on YouTube,
get up there.
have a channel, and get up there, and people will listen to them like, oh, I wonder what this person is about. Because it's a new forum, so people haven't gotten used to just ignoring like, oh, God, this person's a crackpot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you're seeing them on a screen, and you're thinking, maybe I should listen to them, maybe blah, blah, blah. And half these people are full of crap. If you go on YouTube and just look up fruitarians and veganism, like you'll see a bunch of crazy, whacked out people that will say, I don't eat anything that casts a shadow because I believe, and they're trying to convince you to eat a diet of just like moss,
for example,
or something
groundhog.
like that, and like. Yeah, my stools are the cleanest that have ever been, and you can see these people like slowly dying. If you go through the videos, one dude I remember watching. One dude,
that's true.
He was in the middle of talking, and his tooth fell out, and he was like, "Oh my God, whatever." This is how malnourished he was that his teeth started to fall out, but he had a following on YouTube. So it gives every crackpot a stage to say something. I mean, listen, Look at the guy they just took down. What was his name?
Alex
Jones
Jones
from Austin, Texas. Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Like some stuff, I'll admit this. Some stuff
okay.
he may have been.
Yeah,
he might have been on the money. Let's say 20%, 30% of the time. But anytime you're telling me so and so of the government is possibly a shape-shifting alien from a lizard, like a lizard people. Well, I can't remember what you said. It was so crazy. Yeah. And you have people saying, "Yeah, look at this video clip. Look at the guy in the background. Look at his hands. You can clearly see that they didn't properly shapeshift into a human form."
Yo,
what?
I saw that video.
What are you? Really? Are you serious?
Yeah, Alex Jones, he had a big following.
Shapeshifter. And they happen to be caught on C-SPAN at a town hall meeting or at the state reps building,
crazy.
Grilling some guy or something like that. What are you talking about?
Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, so you guys see my point.
People actually follow this. I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's what I don't
understand.
Millions of people follow
Millions.
But
millions, yeah. Yep.
So take it with a grain of salt. That's what I say. YouTube can be not YouTube in particular, but the internet. Take the internet with a grain of salt. You have to go to reputable places. You can't look at YouTube or Wikipedia as the research has been done. So this is obviously I can go to the bank with this. No, Wikipedia is edited and done by regular people. Yeah, they can put anything up there. YouTube is the same thing. There is no law that says you can't just load a video of nonsense, and
I mean, there's no filter. There is a filter. Actually, I'll take that back, Logic. There is a filter to a certain extent if it's on YouTube, but there's not like there's specific laws against just being wacko. Do you know what I mean? So therefore, it's easy to slip through the cracks. All these, there's tens of hundreds of millions of these uploaders. It's just getting out of hand. It's absolutely ludicrous after a while, one after the other. And I'm like, do any of you have any sense? And the more you watch, the deeper you get, and the more brainwashed you are, and the harder it is to realize that this is not reality.
But is it hard? You find it hard to maintain that?
Not for me. I'm talking specifically about what we.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, whoever finds it hard to keep their feet planted, then more than likely you're one of these people that's susceptible to being conned. That's a real thing. Like some con artists don't go after certain people because they can tell mentally they're just a little too sharp. So they go after people that are kind of like, I can tell this person that, they need this or this is true without them, really doing research. Because, again, you look at the nation. Anytime that there's some black guy who's a light-skinned black dude with almost bone-straight hair can tell you anything close to being a white man is unpure and is a deified creature who, eat the swine meat, which is a creature that's half rat, half dog, and blah, 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 and and you got to shave your facial hair because the white man's germs will kill you over time. Anytime they can sit there and say that to you.
What?
That's why all Nation of Islam people are clean shaven because they don't facial hair or the white man's germs.
Wow, I did not know that.
Because of it, right? Okay, so Logic and BJ, can I just say this one thing before I forget? I don't want to get off track with what you're saying. Kai and I had a meeting about 2 weeks ago. And I'm not saying exactly who said this. If you guys figure it out, good for you. But just along with what Logic said, now the other thing I'm hearing, and this is going back to the black Israelites, but it's so close. Okay, here's the other theory. Light-skinned black women, or even those who appear to be mixed that have the really stringier hair, maybe a really light skin, are all devils. They're demons. They're sluts. Okay? They're evil. I'm serious. I'm really serious. So I'll put it this way.
Did anybody tell Kathleen Cleaver that?
But listen, I'll put it this way. It's kind of personal for me. Like I said, you guys can figure this out. It's personal for me because I just passed the so-called color test, where I'm not too light to be a threat for the person to feel threatened, but yet if I were any lighter, he'd have to scratch his head. Kind of like, well, next time I'll make sure it's going to be more of an average-looking woman.
Ooh.
I would in the future. I'll only be with a more average.
Color test.
Charles.
He said what?
Light skin. Okay, we were watching. You guys know how we always watch.
You don't have to go through the whole pitch. Just what did he say to you?
No, listen. There's a point of
what
saying this.
Char? Just what did he say?
Okay, well, it makes sense if I tell you why it was said in the first place.
Already
this is my whole point. No. Let me finish. There's a point to this, okay? We're watching Fraternity. Listen, let me just listen, Logic. We're watching Fraternity Court on YouTube. The girl was scandalous, okay, first of all, because she was trying to put this baby on this man. And so the first thing that comes out of his mouth is, see, that's why I can't stand. I will never. He says I would never. If I was single, I would never date a light-skinned woman again. Light-skinned women are evil. They're demons. They're sluts. They're liars. They're cheats. And that's why that woman has that man in that position. If he had stayed with a real sister that's not watered down, then he wouldn't have that problem. But he looks at me and he's like, well, I hope I didn't offend you, but you're not, you're just kind of like, I just passed the so-called acceptance color test. I just passed it, even though I have mixed race, but thank God. But you know what? So then that comes up too. If there's that comes up also. That's a problem too.
He wouldn't have been with you. He wouldn't be with you now.
Well, I'll put it this way. Since this whole movement happened is when we've been together. But if God forbid something happens with that.
What movement?
Well, of him just embracing these crazy people, these black Israelites. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
like
Lord.
As far as
your relationship
going
on.
Listen, that's almost legitimizing it. It's not a movement. It's idiotic nonsense.
Yeah.
And because, listen, no offense to you, dude, but he sounds like an idiot. So these other idiots.
You think I don't think that too? I'm looking at it like, what? Right,
what?
He doesn't. No, I look at him the same way. I'm like, you're an idiot. Why would you even? Oh my God, it's just appalling.
So they don't even like it's not a movement. They're racists that sit out on the corner and they yell about white people being the source of their problems, just like every other racist talks about whomever they're talking about. There is no movement.
Yeah.
Well, the reason it's more like it's a cult. But okay, this is just one last example. The other day I was training here in our office, and one of the trainees asked me what my ethnicity was. Obviously I'm black, but she wanted to know what else. She goes, well, you're obviously mixed. You have this look, blah, blah, blah. And I said, African, whatever, Irish and Native American.
What?
No, listen, people say it to me all the time. I get that question all the time. So this is my life, Logic, so let me live my life. This question happens all the time.
My question to said person would be, why would that be obvious that I would have to do that?
No, you're missing the point. You're missing the point.
What do you see as a person that makes you believe that this possibly can't be a black person that looks this way?
Why don't you ask all the people that I meet in life that ask that question all the time? You're missing the point. The point is, when I told her what I was, yes, you're not. You just let me finish because there's a point to this, and you're interrupting.
Just
and if you
let her
listen, it'll make sense.
Let her finish.
No, let me finish seriously, because that wasn't even the point of how do I get to this point, how do I look, and it wasn't that. It was her question. So when I told her what it was, when I mentioned the white part of the Irish, he comes over past my desk and shoots me this look like, you freaking traitor. He sends me a text message. You have to choose one, Char. You got to pick one. You can't say all three. You can't be all three. You can only pick one. And I'm sitting here like, what do you mean pick one? It's all three. I am all three, but I'm black first. I'm proud to say from the Sudan, where my grandparents are from. I know that. Yeah, but you have to choose one. But he shot this look like you white traitor.
Black first.
You said the word white. No, but my point is I have to choose. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But that look is what got to me, though, because I'm thinking, because I mentioned the Irish, that means white, of course, and he was speaking this look like, you traitor. White devil. How can you even mention the white devil in this relationship? So that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Todd and I talked about this. Remember, Todd? A couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I'm going to shot you a look, too.
Let's say
that's pretty bad, guys. Yeah. I mean, this is.
I would have definitely shot you a look as well.
You know?
What kind of look?
But his look would have meant something different. So
my look would have been.
Do?
My look would have been. Did you just fall into this trap of now having to prove to this person who assumed that a black woman couldn't look like you? So now you went and actually quantified and legitimized this person's theory by saying, "Oh yeah, I have this and this and this in me." Oh, of course, because I thought you was beautiful, so you couldn't have just been a black woman. Thank you for clearing that up for me.
Okay, you know what, Logic? I will admit, I do think that way sometimes. No, I do feel that way sometimes.
Basically.
I feel. Wait, I'm sorry. What was that, DJ?
You fact check your own self for.
I check my own self. What?
I said you fact check your own self for the lady that asked you that question.
No, but listen, but what Logic said, I'll be honest with you. I have thought about that. Like, why does a person have to look so-called mixed, whatever that is, in order to be very attractive or pretty or beautiful, whatever? Why do people ought to just say that? Like, what is that supposed to be? You can't be pretty unless you got something else in you. That's what they. And this is a white person that asked me the question. You see what I'm saying? It was a white chick, okay?
Wow.
Seriously. But it happens all the time. Whether black, white, whatever, she just happens to be white. But, yeah. So that's why I'm like, really? So that's the only reason we can
actually, that goes into the question that one of our listeners wanted to ask last week, which was, so they were trying to call in live and ask this question last week. So the question was, me being biracial, and I guess, I don't know. Let me read it how they have it. So, me being biracial and always feeling like I have to choose between races and can't just be accepted as a biracial person. So, I guess it's basically like, why can't they just be accepted as them? Like, why can't they just say I'm half black, half white? Why are you saying I have to choose one? Which is something
Let Logic take that one.
Go ahead. You said something. What?
This is something I ask a lot. I think I've commented about it a couple times on the show, but off of the show I ask about it a lot, and I try and talk to biracial people about it a lot because I see that they're always pushed to accept one race. Like Barack, for instance. You know, he's half black, half white. He's half black, half white, but they're like, oh, he's black. He's our first black president. Like, no, he's not. He's half black, half white. That's what he is. You know, or The Rock. Sometimes he comes out and says he's black. Sometimes he comes out and says he's Samoan, but then people are like, oh, he's black. Like, no, he's not. You know, but then my thing is, and I have people who are like that, that I know, close friends, family, stuff like that. So I always want to ask them about it. Where I start having an issue is where you start being, how do I want to say, ashamed of one of the races that you're mixed with.
Really?
That's when I have an issue.
Wow, yeah.
Well, you're ashamed to be black or you're ashamed to be Asian or something like that. Why are you ashamed of?
Well, hold on.
According to logic, you're falling into a trap explaining anything. You're just supposed to why are you explaining what you are?
Let's keep our feet planted in reality here. Any person that's mixed with anything other than black is not ashamed of the non-black part. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay? And I'm going to tell you, the only reason that one person may suppress it and not want it out there is because they are around black people who they feel may give them a problem for one reason or another. So that might be the only reason that they don't claim it, i.e., let's say that Tiger Woods grew up in the hood and was still just living in the hood every day, and he had to deal with a bunch of aggressive people. He probably wouldn't run around and say, I'm half Chinese or whatever, because that will give an opening to some people to mess with him, just because. So he probably would just say that he's black in order to not have static in his life, but to have shame because
there's a Chinese person in this house, and he's like, oh, just stay in the house. I don't want anybody to see you. And, they're going to family reunions, and black people are just stop eating. And like, who is that? Oh, did Bobby bring his Asian wife here? Ugh. That doesn't happen because black people are, and it's not because black people are racially benevolent and they're just no, it's because black people have historically and constantly been at the bottom. So they are always looking to be validated by others and accept people in or whatever. That's why the idea that, these black people don't accept me because I have this other, it's not that. Some black people get annoyed with biracial people when they try to straddle the line and act like, oh, I don't know what's going on because I'm half Italian and that's not my experience. I mean, I can't sit here like you don't have to be black to be able to see what's happening to black people and what constantly happens to black people. You don't have to. There is no conflict there. You can honestly just look at it as a complete white person and say, that's fucked up. That's crazy that kind of law existed. And when you have other people, other groups that try to act like they had it just as bad, no, you didn't. No. You did not. You know what I'm saying? Like the Asian community right now, there's a woman named Claire Kim is she from Duke University? I don't know where she's from. But she's talking about how Chinese people, specifically in the Asian community, are hijacking the civil rights laws of affirmative action to be accepted in the college. Like they're trying to roll it back now.
Wow.
Because when these colleges are making sure that they have racial diversity, they're capping how many Asian students that they take on. So because it's not working out in their favor, now they're trying to, fight the laws to get it overturned, which is going to take away from black and Spanish people who are usually marginally at a disadvantage.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? And it's going to work out for them. And other Asians have come to them who are not Chinese, are saying to them like there was a specific time in San Francisco where there was a real prestigious high school, and they were trying to get the Asian cap lifted, but other Filipinos and Japanese people and stuff like that who aren't as numerous as Chinese in San Francisco were trying to tell them like, hey, wait a minute, if you do this, less of our kids will be able to get in too. The Chinese people stayed and said, well, it doesn't matter to us because as long as if we can get our kids in here, that's what we care about. So they don't even care about the historical black struggle that led to these laws. And this is what I say, and people try to act like I'm being a bigot when I say, if you have no blood or skin in the game, you should not be able to benefit from what we suffered for. You know what I mean? You should not be able to come over here and eat. And I feel that way for even Africans who come over here, and then you're trying to get grants as a black person to open a business. You didn't march here. You didn't send any money to us here to help out. And why do you get to come over here and benefit from what we suffered from? Because you still don't believe that you're one of us. You think that you're something different. And it's the same thing with the Caribbean people and the Puerto Ricans and the Cubans and the Mexicans, even though they all have their roots in slavery and their nations just happen to leave that area, and that's why they've been living by themselves for so long. It's, you know what I mean? But you still come over here with this attitude, or you look down your nose at continental black people, but you want to benefit from what we got. Why? Who are you to benefit from that? And Chinese people, specifically, were here in this country. They never went through slavery. There were laws that when they complained, they were complaining that they were being worked like or treated like a slave, which they were incensed about. Now, making a statement of saying, you're treating me like a slave, and then another statement being, you are enslaving me, which is wrong. Those are two different statements, if you think about it. Because one is identifying the idea of what you're doing is wrong. But then the other one is saying, I'm mad that you're treating me like this person.
Right.
You know, which means that you're mad because you're being put on the same level. You know what I mean? So it's not that they ever cared. It's just they always wanted to be at a level above. And that's the same thing that Gandhi said, that people don't want to remember about Gandhi. He was a racist because when he was in South Africa, what upset him is those white South African people treated him like what he called a kafir, which is a South African word like nigger.
Nigger, yeah.
He said this. This is in his diaries that he has this. He wrote it down himself. And he always said white people should understand that Indians are closer to whiteness than blackness.
Wow.
Why would you say that? If you are about, you know what I mean? Like if you're about being fair and you're against a racist ideology, then you would condemn the whole thing. You wouldn't say, I don't like the fact that you were treating me like a nigger. What? So, all of that to say, when black people say pick a side, it's usually when you have biracial black people that act like, I don't know how I should feel. Is it wrong? Do you see something wrong that's happened to black people? Yes, then feel that it's wrong. That's all you have to do. I don't care who banged your mother to get you. It doesn't matter. But don't act like you don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? You got biracial people out there that try to act like I have no idea how to act around black people. What does that mean?
That's crazy.
What are you talking about?
I wish my daughters and son would say this.
Yeah, I've never grown up around black people, so I don't know. What are you talking about? Just be who you are.
They get mad mugged.
Hey, BJ, I have a question for you. Sorry, go ahead. I have a question.
No, go ahead. I want to hear the question.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so BJ, I've seen pictures of your daughters, and they're absolutely beautiful, and I think one of them graduated from high school not long ago. Do you feel that just as you see them growing up and as their features change, do you think that they look mixed to you? Just as a father, do you look at them and say, my daughters look mixed? You don't?
I don't see him as I don't see him. No, I don't. It's funny. I never really see him that way. No. Even though I know.
What is a mixed look? What does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know what that is. I don't know what
that is. I'm asking someone who has a child by a white woman, and he happens to be a black man. So of course they get the question all the time at school because kids get teased for that.
It is. I don't know how that. I don't know how that is. I don't know. How that mixed look. I never had that. You know.
Are they like the listener? Were they pressured into choosing one race? Do they call themselves black? Do they call themselves mixed?
Oh, no, because
my
daughter right now is in high school, the 14-year-old. She always asks, she's Spanish. She say, no, I'm mixed with black and Italian. That's all she say, and she leaves it at that. Because she looks Spanish, but Italian.
Oh, okay.
And you said she looks Spanish, right?
They say she looks Spanish. All my kids, they look Spanish.
Well, that's essentially
that
was
my question.
That's what Latinos are, black people and the Spaniards.
And dark hair.
Right, that's exactly right, yeah. That was my question, so you kind of answered it, yeah. Think about that was my question, BJ, because they look another race. They look to be another race.
Yeah, that's why I got quiet, because what would you say, Logic?
No, I was saying that they said she looks Spanish because she has light brown skin and straight dark hair. She got to be Spanish. That's the only way.
That's wavy. I think it's more so wavy,
necessarily look like that. Sofia Vergara, her hair is blonde. When she came to Hollywood, she was forced to take that accent because that's not even her real accent. Sofia Vergara, that's not even her real accent that she talks with now. When she came to Hollywood or Los Angeles with her naturally blonde hair, they told her she didn't look Latina. So she had to dye her hair and adopt this accent to say, hey, yes, I'm Latina. So
she had to adopt a look and a sound that made people think that she was Spanish.
And she already is.
Exactly.
Listen, I'm gonna blow your mind even more.
That's
you know the comedian Louis C.K.?
Yeah.
He is a total 100% Mexican.
What? Damn.
Yes. He's Mexican. But people... Now listen, but just dig how deep it is
to acquiesce to racism. He didn't speak a word of English when he got to this country. He learned English and, whatever. But because people can't conceive in their mind that white people can be Mexicans, you know what I mean? And they can have red hair and blue eyes and all that stuff.
And light eyes, yeah.
He adopted the white moniker in this country and does not tell people he's Mexican. Damn. And that's the life he decided to live as a white man. So all these people that think he's one of them and he hears them talking about, all these Spanish people and blah, blah, blah. As a Mexican, he just sits there and listens to it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Damn.
Wow. Oh, people. Wow.
I know some black people like that. There was this an article about a black woman who passed, and I think the reason why it was an article is her daughter just found out her mom was black, and she wrote a book about it. And I think it was on her mom's deathbed or something like that, and her mom had promised her, don't tell anybody. Like, don't tell anybody till I'm dead, basically. And her mom passed for white, and her mom constantly, she said she always stayed out of the sun. She was always putting a little bit lighter foundation on her face. She always wore makeup even to bed. And her father was a bigot, and she would sit there and listen to her father say racist stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She would just say something like, "Oh, you shouldn't say that," or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But she sat there and listened to it, and she was married to a bigot, and she had children with a bigot.
Yeah.
How did she?
Hold on.
How did she pull that off? I want to. How did she pull that off?
You couldn't tell unless, Kai, when you saw the pictures with the family of the mother, could you tell, if you were to take her out the pictures and separate her and just show the mother, doesn't she really look white? But when you showed her with her family, the black family, then she blended in, she looked black. Does that make sense? So the daughter never saw the other side of the family anyway.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you like this. Okay, I don't know, and BJ, you've met Logic before. Logic blends in with anybody he's around. So he's around black people. You could say, oh, yeah, he looks black. If he's around Latino, dude, you're from the Dominican Republic or from frickin' Puerto Rico. If he's around some Africans, dude, you're from Morocco. If he's around Chinese people, he looks Chinese. There are some black people that just blend in. There are some black people who could just blend in, and she was just one of them. And you don't say anything. You don't say who you are. You don't talk about your family. But see, her family, she had people dark in there all the way down to her color between her brothers and sisters. She just happened to turn out that color. And she never talked about her family. She never introduced her kids to her family, nothing.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Damn. And the husband, he found out when she passed it. Oh, I married a black woman.
Oh, they kept it a secret. No, the husband never found out. Nobody found out until she died.
Nobody found out. The daughter only made the book after the mother died.
Yeah,
right. She found out that she had black in her.
And she saw her black sister and brother.
Even come out. The children didn't even come out with a curl in their hair. They looked white.
No.
So is her father still living? Her father still living?
They didn't say.
I think he's dead.
I don't think so.
I think he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead. He's dead after he read the book, right? Yeah.
After he died, after he heart attack. No, but
he died after he read the book. He what? I've been Duke all these years. Oh my God.
That's it.
He had to pass away to go catch up with her to kick her butt. That's what he had to do. That's what he had.
Yeah, he found out. He found out after all those years he was a nigga lover.
He went to go look for her.
He's like, he was going to look for her. That was this. She ain't getting away. This ain't no way.
Okay, to go in with, because the listener had a second question, but to go in with the listener's first question, and to go in with what we're talking about, and even to go into Black History Month and everything, I don't even understand why all of this is a thing. Like, biracial people. Why do we even have to say biracial? You're actually one race. You're human.
It has to be a label.
You may be bicultural. You know, you're bicultural.
Yeah,
like
but
you know what?
But you're jumping ahead about 500 years. Maybe in 500 years we won't have to say that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but for right now, it's important to I hate to say to pick a side, but to at least acknowledge that you are a descendant of a slave, because the idea is that these other people try to impose this idea that you are less than because of it. And so it's because people have that attitude, especially black people, that feels they have to dig back 27 generations and say, oh, I'm Cherokee because this one person married a Cherokee in my family back in the 1600s. So that's what I am. No, that's not what you are. That one person, that one little piece of blood that you might have does not override all of the rest of the generations that are black people. You're black. You're more black than anything else because of this is the social group that you've been put in due to post-slavery. So to me, even though I realize and think that it is ridiculous that a bunch of people are trying to say that Asian is a race or, European is a race. These are continents. There's not a race. Just like Latino is not a race. It's a culture. And, you know what I mean? It's not a race. But it's important on a social level to exude some kind of pride or to not shy from what has happened in your past, because it is not our fault. If anyone should run around with an attitude, it should be us, because the wrong was done to the African. So everyone else should kind of hold their head in shame because they stood by and watched it. If you really, wanted to enforce such a thing, whatever. To me, history is history. It's done.
I understand.
But,
I understand.
Yeah. So, when black people get angry with biracial people is when they kind of act ambivalent about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like what's the girl, Tia or Tamara? I don't know which one is married to a white dude, but that white dude says a lot of salacious shit that's like right on the edge of being racist, and then she's like, I don't.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
hear that? Like, how do you not hear that? He just said that. How does that make you feel? My mom's white. What does that have to do with
there you
anything?
go. That's what I was going to say. The white side of her didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I don't allow anybody to say anything racist about any quote unquote race. I don't allow it to be said around me. There's black people that I know who are way racist against white people. And I tell them, it's just like if I met a white person who was racist against black people. I tell them the same thing. That's stupid. That's ignorant. And then, I get into the whole argument that black people can't be racist. Who told you that? And I just recently, I think a week or 2 weeks, somebody brought the definition, their new revised definition of racism, which is only the people of power. The people in power are the ones who can be racist. Anybody who has been under that power cannot be racist.
You talking about that black girl that was on CNN? The one
seriously?
that said
racism I was having a conversation with somebody, and they said that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Somebody said that on TV?
That. Yeah, it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was this, I think it was either the New Yorker. Somebody picked up this Asian woman to be a writer, and she had all of these old racist tweets toward the white people in her history. And so, people were bringing up, like, this chick's a racist. Like, why would they have her as a, correspondent for whatever newspaper it was? I can't remember. But they had this black woman on to argue the point. And she said racism is something and power. So because she has no power, that's not really racist what she's doing. It was the most idiotic argument that I had heard. And so because this Asian woman, she said, didn't have power to exude over anybody, somehow her statements weren't completely racist towards white people.
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing now.
I guess. No, racism does not have a color. Anybody who does not accept somebody because of the color of their skin is a racist. That's it. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, blah, blah, blah. But the thing that people just need to understand is our race is human. That's it. If you peel back the color, our skin, whatever, we all look exactly the same underneath, no matter what supposed scientists want to tell you. Whatever. I teach my daughter, which I still get, it doesn't, you get backlash for everything. I teach my daughter she's human. I don't teach her to walk around saying, I'm from the Caribbean, I'm black, I'm this. You're human. And she tells children at school. I remember she told me they were having lunch one time, and everybody at the table was like, I'm Italian, I'm this, I'm that, I'm, Greek, I'm blah, blah, blah. And they were like, hey, what are you? And she's like, why are we having this idiotic conversation? We're all humans. Shut up. That was the end of the conversation. And I was very proud of her because I freaking agree.
That's your daughter, Kai. That's your daughter. All day.
Now let me ask you this, Kai.
That's little Kai.
let me ask you this.
Oh, my gosh.
You're teaching her to tell people that she's human. Now, is there any part of your tutelage, so to speak, that's going to focus on the fact that she is a descendant of slaves?
Well, what I do teach her about that, and I do teach her about black history, because if she's in school and it's learning about Vikings and this, I make sure that when she has to write a paper, she writes a paper about, African Americans, Caribbeans, or African people. That's who she writes a paper about. And I purposefully do that. Now, if it wasn't an issue in school, like if they equally taught about white people as they do about everybody else, then I wouldn't focus on that. But I do that specifically because they don't teach. It's just like white people did everything, and we're just living in their world, which obviously, unless you're racist, nobody agrees with that. So I specifically teach her about, black people did this, black people invented this, black people invented that. But I really wish I didn't have to do that, because the way I look at it is we are all human. I don't really like to niche it down to say, hey, we're black, we're white, we're Italian, we're this. I don't really like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're talking about culture-wise, then that's completely different, because, yes, cultures are different. But, when it comes to just the color of your skin, I don't really want to focus on that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not something you have control over. It's just we have different pigments of our skin.
This is what I tell people. When you're teaching your kids about being black is not really about your skin color, because most black people aren't black. They're just brown. You know what I mean? So it really isn't. The whole black label came from back when they were taking really, really dark Africans from West Africa and turning them into slaves. That's why they called them black people, because they appeared to be black. Now, black is it's a social order that you're a part of. And that's why, to me, blackness is important, because you have so many black people trying to run away from the black label, because they're trying to say, I'm this and I'm that and blah, 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 in order to put distance in between blackness. And although my family has a cocktail of different things mixed in it, I don't bother saying it, because it doesn't matter in the end of the day, because I'm not going to try to associate myself with other groups who would otherwise turn their backs or even look down their nose at black people. I don't want to be a part of that group. I don't want to act like I'm a part of you. I don't even want to give you some semblance of a reason to justify to yourself why you like me. Like, okay, yeah, you got something. That's why we can get along. Not because I'm a black guy, really. So in your mind that you just can never get along with a black person, or people that run around and say Beyonce is half Creole and blah, blah, blah. She's beautiful. God. No, so you could not think she's attractive without her being something but a black woman from Texas?
You could that is not a possibility in your mind. That couldn't happen. Black people come in many shades, many shapes, many different hair textures and whatever. It's a very colorful collage that black people come in. Until people can get to the point where they can accept.
You're coming from that mindset. I'm coming from the background of then we break down black people even more. And who's better than this black person? And who?
No.
I'm not even.
Whoever's doing that, whoever is breaking down what black people are better than others, they're part of the problem. So I don't know who you're associating with, but if you hear black people sitting around having a conversation of, black people from Louisiana are way better than, get away from that group of people because they're dumb. That's a dumb group of people.
Well, I'm talking about the mindset I was raised in. So this is why I raised my daughter this way. I raised my daughter a specific way because, I just want her to understand we're just all people. End of story.
Well, Kai, I have a question about I actually have a question about that. Regarding your daughter's comment, if you were to look through your daughter's eyes on that playground that day or outdoors, wherever they were for recess, I don't know if they still call it that, but if, and all of these people are announcing what they are, how is that considered to be an idiotic conversation if they're proud of their different cultures? Some may be Italian, like you said. Maybe somebody else said they're German. Maybe someone said they're Mexican or whatever. And there could have been a black person in there from the United States or from outside the United States. So how is it idiotic if we're teaching her that it's idiotic when actually some people are very proud? Black people should be proud of whatever culture that we consider ourselves to have. So why do we have to downplay it and just, of course, we're all human. But if all those people are so proud, why can't we be? That doesn't make any sense to me that all these white people will rattle off everything they are.
Black people can't be proud of who they are. Why is this a conversation 5th and 4th graders are having? And we know when they're not talking about culture because they were not talking about, hey, what food do you eat and blah, blah, blah. They were talking about their race, which is idiotic for little children to be talking about.
That's the society we in. That's the society we in now.
No, but,
body, race culture. Yeah, that's the society we in.
Exactly. It's all about that. It's all in the news.
No, but it is bullshit because I had an argument with a guy last week where he kept saying he's Puerto Rican. So I asked him, what part of Puerto Rico were you born in? And he said, no, I'm from the Bronx. I said, well, then you're American.
You're American.
And he's like, no, I'm Puerto Rican. I said, no, you're not. You were born in the Bronx. So you're American. Puerto Rican is a nationality. You're not from Puerto Rico. Well, all my family, your family is from Puerto Rico. They moved here at some point. You were born here. You're an American.
Right.
So Puerto Rican has no meaning to you besides the fact that your family may listen to and eat food from Puerto Rico.
He must
so what are you?
He was heated, right?
Said, well, no,
Logic just gave this guy a hard time. He probably went home crying like, well, I don't even know who I am. I have no identity.
He was getting real frustrated, but see, that's my point. Like, when people say shit like that, I understand what they're trying to say without them actually saying it. So I kept pushing them. I said, so what are you? If you obviously this is nationality. Your passport doesn't say Puerto Rico. It says America. It says United States, which means that you're a United States citizen. So what are you? Black? Are you white? What are you? So he was like, well,
why don't you tell him he's
I'm
Latino? Why don't you tell him
Latino? So he said
Latino. Go ahead. Okay. That's what I'm just saying, but why did you just tell him that so that he would get it the first time? Opposed to going around in circles, it's pretty obvious that represents the actual
May I finish, Char?
Can I finish the story?
Can I finish it?
Sure. You actually permitted me to finish a few moments ago, so by all means.
So he says Latino. I say Latino is a culture, not a race. So what are you? He said, no, Latino is I said, a Latino is not a race. It's a culture. What are you? This dude eventually said, I guess I would have to be white. Now, after all of that pushing, he still could not push himself to believe he was anything close to black. It had to be something else.
Damn.
And this is what's behind most of that national stuff. Like, oh, I'm Cuban or whatever. No, you're not. Were you born in Havana? Where were you born? East L.A. Shut up. You're American. You're not Cuban. What's next? You push them long enough, they'll tell you white.
If he was walking down the street and he didn't open his mouth, didn't say anything, I don't know if he had an accent or whatever, but if he was just walking down the street, what would you have assumed? Just not say you didn't even know him. Would you have just assumed he was black? Or was he more on the white side? Maybe that's why he just went with white.
Listen,
so what would
hold
you...
on.
It doesn't matter if he was darker than, Sammy Sosa before he lightened his skin. He would have still said, if you pushed him that much, he would have still said he was white.
That was so random.
Yeah, no, listen. No. Listen to what she just said. Sammy Sosa, as dark as he was, would never say that he's a black man. He would keep screaming his nationality to you, which is Dominican. He would keep telling you that. I'm Dominican. You're Dominican. I get where you were born. My question is, what are you? That man decided to put chemicals on his body to strip the melanin out because he did not want to be associated with anything close to blackness.
Crazy.
It's the Tiger Woods syndrome. The Tiger Woods syndrome, that's what it is. I just gave it a name. Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods. I mean, he's Tiger Woods.
No, it's the syndrome.
Even though I do teach my daughter, even though I do teach my daughter not to sit there playing the race game, she does know what she is because I'm not raising an idiot at the same time. You know what I'm saying? She does know what people see. She knows where her and her people come from. She knows she's a descendant of slaves. You know, I'm not just like, oh, we don't see color, kumbaya. You know, I'm not like that. At the same time, I just refuse. Like, if you pushed her, she would just keep telling you she's human until I guess you just eventually burnt yourself out. I'm human. Why are we having this conversation? I'm human. You know, but she knows what, when she grows up, the police are going to see, for instance. You know, or if she does like somebody who's, the new term which irks the crap out of me is non-melanated. Oh, it's so annoying to me.
What?
The new term, non-melanated.
It is?
If she does decide she's going to marry somebody who's non-melanated, what their parents are going to look at her as. You know, it's not going to be like, oh, yeah, you're just human. You're marrying my human son. She knows this. I'm not raising a fool. But at the same time, I'm not raising somebody to be dependent upon what skin color you are. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing.
Okay,
that non-melanated thing gets on my freaking nerves. Are we melanated or non-melanated? Oh my God.
I didn't hear.
But my thing is, but that would be a great conversation at the dinner table when you're meeting someone's parents, and it just so happens that you're marrying into a white family and you're black, for example, right? And you try to explain this to the parents. I'm just saying, imagine two young people, like she just said. It was just, she used their daughter as an example, but imagine having that conversation at the dinner table with the white family, okay, the parents of the white man that this black woman's going to marry, and he's saying, but Mom, I'm just non-melanated, that's all. You know, they're going to definitely pull the race card.
That's crazy.
They're just going to pull the race card. But you know what? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Char.
Okay, I'll make it really quick, Logic. Okay, the reason I said Tiger Woods syndrome is because Tiger Woods has insisted since the beginning of his career that he's Asian, even though we know it's like Thai or whatever. That's it. That's it for him. That's what I'm saying. So you cannot convince this man that his father's obviously black, right? He only claims and chooses what his mother is. And like Logic said, where were you born in Asia? But that's his thing. As a matter of fact, when he married the white lady, the white model, whatever, I don't know if it's because of status or how would I know, or because, hey, I feel like I'm closer to them than black, so because I don't consider myself black anyway. So that's the reason why I call it a syndrome.
I don't know. Yeah, he annoys me. The second question, we haven't even gotten to.
Well, Logic was.
Go ahead,
Logic, though. Remember Logic? Okay.
Well, the things that annoy me is in this country when you hear people that are from here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you're Asian, if you've been here for 2-3 generations. It's like when you hear someone say, especially when it's black people and white people, when you hear someone say, "Oh well, you know, their relationship wouldn't be able to work because the cultures are too different." Like, what culture?
I heard that.
What culture are you talking about?
I heard that. Yeah.
Like, black people been here for 600 years, and so has white people. So, what is different about what we do? Do you celebrate the 4th of July, Labor Day, barbecues? Do you watch football? And do you celebrate Muhammad Ali and, you know, all of these different athletes that we hear over time? You know, you know how many black people watch baseball and love it? Like, what difference of culture are you talking about? The only thing that is different between a white family and a black family is possibly, not even all the time, but possibly the music you listen to, the slang that you use, and perhaps where you live. Perhaps. Other than that, there's nothing different.
Yeah, and that's changing
and
too.
It's a northern.
The funny thing is, with me and my friends, we come from different cultures, but we're all born here. So it's like we'll say something like, so if I'm talking to another female, we'll say something like, I couldn't marry somebody from a different culture. I'm too Americanized. So it's like we're talking about marrying somebody from overseas because their culture is completely different from the American culture. And, like, you know, what the guys may expect for the women to do, because in their culture over there, they expect the women, for instance, to shut up. Yeah, that don't happen in the U.S. of A., baby. You know, so that's what, like, me and my friends, when we talk about culture, we're actually talking about different cultures. And, like, if you talk about the color of our skin, we're two different colored people talking about, I can't marry somebody from a different culture. We're too Americanized. Like, I actually just said that last night. That's the funny thing. So I have heard what Logic said on TV. I've never heard it in real life. And then everybody got really quiet.
Kai and I have been watching.
Why did everybody get so quiet?
It just
think about your culture.
You
have to think about your culture.
Kai, are you still watching a 90 Day Fiancé? Kai and I were watching. I guess I was binge watching.
It's on hiatus right now, but I love that show. I got Char into that show.
I mean, she totally did. I've been binge watching the old episodes, Kai, for like the last 3 weeks, and it's just bad. I need a 12-step program. But here's my point. Yeah, there I go. You're right, BJ. But here's my point, though. Each and every one of those relationships, they have to marry within 90 days if they're going to. They're two strangers from two entirely different sides of the world, literally speaking. Someone flies all the way overseas, someone comes to America. But each and every time, there's so many issues because their races are different, or because their cultures are different, because their ethnicity, or because of where they were physically born, and how they're raised. Like you just said, Kai, in some cultures you're supposed to shut up, be quiet. It's really scary to see. I think there's very few that actually work out. Very few, and that's probably how it really is.
It's very few, yeah. But see, I'm also again. So let's get back into this topic of like black. I also am. Not only do I watch that show, but I am a group of that because I'm a 90 Day Fiancé nerd. So this whole group that I'm in, we watch it together and then we comment on it and blah 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 blah. But I realize whenever there is somebody black, so coming from Africa or coming from the Caribbean, the racists jump out. Like, oh, he's going to cheat on you. Oh, he's going to do this. It's always something negative. And the next thing is every time it's coming from the Middle East, it's always, they're just trying to get a green card to come over to the United States or something like that. It's just... But in
some cases that's true, Kai, because Michael from Nigeria.
Some cases, but that's with anybody. That's even with people coming from freaking Ireland to just try to get here. You know what I'm saying? But like for you to think that, like I remember one of them was coming from Spain, I think, and marrying a girl and moving to Maine. And people were oh, you're just trying to come over to the United States. And they're like, dude, he's from a lesser city that's kind of like Los Angeles. Like, why is he just like he just had two horses and a mule or something, and he's just like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you sometimes have to tell these people, like, what are you talking about? You know, Spain is a rich country. What are you talking about? You know, Morocco, they'll have you believe people are living there in huts, but now they got cities, you know what I'm saying? And then when you actually watch the show and watch these people, some of these people are actually trying to get the people to come from the United States to live with them in their country. Like, I don't want to move there. You just come live over here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, what leg do you have to stand on now? But there was this African dude, true. And I hate him. I hate him so much. He is obsessed with Donald Trump. I'm coming over here to the United States to meet you, Donald Trump. Like, oh, my God, you freaking idiot.
Michael from Nigeria. That's the one I just mentioned. And
Michael
the lady
from Nigeria.
She bought him all the Trump gear, Trump hat, Trump
the funny
everything.
thing is, he's not from the rich part of Nigeria, because there's a rich part of Nigeria, and then there is the National Geographic-looking part of Nigeria.
He's from
that
area.
We still doing
near Lagos, like the dump area. I hate to say it like that. It's really a lot of crime and poverty. It's really sad. They're desperate.
So let me ask the second question, because we're like down to 8 minutes and we haven't really talked about our topic anyway. So second question from this listener from last week: being a queer person of color around so-called woke people of color that are all about racial politics and anti-colonialism and activism to that extent, but are still homophobic or transphobic. Well, my
being
answer
a what
to
person
that,
of color?
a queer person of color.
Queer.
So I guess LGBTQ.
Can say gay? Can say gay? Queer.
But they specify
queer.
it, BJ. They specify, so it's under the categories.
I thought calling a gay person a queer was like a slur.
Yeah, a bad word, right?
Yeah, years ago I thought it was.
I think
Definitely.
it's like black people calling each other nigger. So they said queer, I said queer. I just read off what they have here.
No. The Q in LGBTQ stands for queer. So it ain't like the NAACP has nigger somewhere in the title. So why do they?
Lesbian, bi, gay, transsexual. Lesbian, gay, nigger,
like
gay,
niggas for
advancement of color people. Like
that's what the Q was. That's what the Q stands for. Lesbian, bi, gay.
I didn't know that what the Q stands for.
I was okay until we got to
that's what the Q stands for. But my answer to that, which I have a conversation with one of my friends a lot about that. You're around people of color and they're woke who are all about racial politics and anti-colonialism and activism, but they're still homophobic and transphobic. That's, to me personally, apples and oranges, two different things. Now, I don't know.
What are they asking? I'm lost here.
It's same in the extent to the extent of I don't understand why this is even a conversation. Like, why are we talking about people's colors, like people's quote unquote races, and why are we talking about how people have sex with each other? Like, I don't. That's your prerogative. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so
here's a color. I understand in the aspect of there's a lot of I don't want to say disadvantage, but there's a lot of historical atrocities that happen to black people because of the fact that they're black. Like if you learn about Tulsa and the Black Wall Street, and I'm sure you'll never find another story that happened like that towards any other group of people. You know, so I understand why
I saw that. That's true.
Is a conversation, but gay people, I don't understand how they're trying to act as if they're just as marginalized, or in some cases they try to act like even more than black people, because how you bang someone is not apparent. You know what I mean? Like, you could live a life as a gay person and no one ever know it.
And now no one has to know it,
a gay person will claim, oh, well, that would be them hiding. And no, because gay is having sex with a person of the same sex. So gay is not a way that you speak, not a way that you dress, not a way that you talk. gay is just a sexual preference. So there is no such thing as a person who appears to be gay. If you have gay sex, you're living a gay lifestyle. It doesn't mean that you still have to run around like, oh my God, I just love these
so
shoes,
queer.
or whatever
so queer.
the stereotypical image of a gay person is. That whoever realizes that they're gay and starts to change the way that they speak and walk, now you're being a character. Because it really shouldn't change. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be like if a white person found out that they're actually biracial, and then all of a sudden they start wearing their hat cocked to the side and getting a dip when they walk. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you walking like that? No, I just found out that my father's really black. So what? What does that have to do with the way that you walk? I'm just saying, yo.
That's a fight. Look, we're fighting.
I'm serious. Same thing. If you think about it, if a person has always been whatever way from Texas, and they talk with a Texas twang, right? And then, I don't know, somewhere between high school and college, they realize they're gay. And then all of a sudden they develop a lisp, and they start wearing tight clothes and dyeing their hair. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, my God.
The funny thing is, I know somebody like that. Like, you never had a lisp before. Why do you suddenly have a lisp?
Wow.
That irritates me.
Most people outgrow it. They don't pick it up. But that is so true. Oh, so I'm trying to understand the caller, the listener, the text. I'm trying to understand why we're highlighting his queerness. The queerness. Why is it being highlighted? The struggle.
First of all, they're biracial. So, you know, first of all, they had to, you know, why do people always push them to choose races? And the second thing is they're gay, and when they're around people of color, even though the people of color say they're so woke that, you know, down with the colonialism and all this other stuff, they still don't like gay people. So I guess they're still homophobic and transphobic. So why is that?
Okay, so it's not a race question or issue. It's just he just mentioned it because, okay. It's a sexual preference struggle, I guess, but it's a struggle that people create. They create the struggle. It's not like you have to be gay or queer.
They don't understand it. That's it. They don't understand. That's all. They have no understanding of it.
And if that's his decision to fight for it and to get the world, or at least his world, to accept him, you know, that's okay. I mean, there's no rule that says you can't do that.
But my thing
is,
it should have anything to do with the
fact that he's biracial.
I was talking to somebody 2 weeks ago, maybe. And I was like, there are gay people who are racist as crap about black people, like towards black people, like, you know. So then that would put forth the question. So how are you a gay person who say that you have the same struggle as black people, but then you turn around and be racist towards black people who are going through quote unquote the same struggles as you? That, you know, if you kind of want to put that question, then you would have to answer this one. You know what I'm saying? How are there gay people that are racist? So,
wow. Well, it's two different types of discrimination, but
no, it is. But I'm going based on their question. That would be my question. You know, you're asking why are there black people who are homophobic and transphobic, or why are there gay people who are racist? Because people are people. That's why. People are just, that's just how people are. I don't know. So anyway,
you know what? I resent the
six...
whole idea too that somehow the black community is more homophobic than anyone else. Like, I hear that a lot. Like,
who says that?
We really need to talk about. Oh, no. Yeah, there are black people that sit there and we really need to talk about how much homophobia is in the black community. Like, as opposed to who? Asians, you know, and Arabs and stuff, and everybody else. Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make sense to me when people say that. Like, it's somehow abnormally high. Gay people everywhere.
Well, we only have like 20 seconds left. So we did have a bunch of questions sent in, which we're still going to answer throughout the course of our shows. So I do apologize. We didn't get to the questions, but we just had an interesting conversation today. So sorry. We're going to get to the rest of the questions throughout the course of our shows. Next week, for all those people who dropped off because of Black History, next week we're going to go back to our regularly scheduled program. And I don't normally talk about our stats on the show, but I wanted to mention that and just show how stupid it is that we're losing listeners because we did a Black History Month. But anyways, so next week we're going back to our regular.
Sorry.
You don't have to come back. Actually, we don't like racists on our show anyway. But
go watch the movie.
Next week we're going back to our regularly scheduled program. So we're going back to talking about relationship questions, sex, and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to continue listening, tune in next week right here on No Conduct Radio, 6 p.m. Thursdays as usual. Thanks for listening. Peace out, everyone.
For all those people, go watch Black Panther. That dropped off. Watch Black Panther.
No.
Wakanda
Do
forever.
not go watch Black Panther.
Yes, Wakanda forever.
No.
You'll be sorry you dropped out last week.
No. Don't listen to her. Do not watch that movie. That movie was a disgrace.
It was worth a shot. Everyone have a great week. Bye.
Yeah.